Good morning. As you can see, we have Heathen joining us again today. It's hard to shuffle around him though, but that's okay. We'll make it work. All right, today we are using, you've heard me say it before and I'll say it again, my very favorite deck of all time. The Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. For whatever reason, I just connect more deeply with this deck than any other deck I have ever used. There's something about the way her illustrations bring the energy of these cards forward that is just outstanding. I loved it so much, and it has so many readings on it that I bought a backup deck for use whenever this one finally wears out. And I've colored the edges there, as you can see. This is my original Light Seers deck. I also bought another backup deck, but when it got to me, it turned out to be counterfeit. And I was so pissed. And so I essentially lit the seller up on Etsy. And she clapped right back at me and was like, my customers don't mind these decks. They like blah, blah, blah. No, your customers do mind these decks. So lesson learned. Only buy your decks from a reputable source or directly from the artist whenever possible. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Look at that face. Oh my goodness. All right, your situation for today. The Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands speaks to a situation where you're probably in your head saying to yourself, do I need to keep fighting and moving forward, or is it time to walk away, right? We've heard that saying, one of the hardest decisions you'll ever have to make in your life is whether to keep fighting or whether to walk away. And the Nine of Wands says, keep fighting. It is a battle worth fighting. It is a worthy cause. The battle is not over. You're still going to have some challenges ahead of you, but you need to keep fighting and you need to keep pushing forward. Today is your big message. So let's kind of get a little deeper into that as to how we do that. External forces beyond your control. We'll start there. And we have, gosh, we get it every day. I feel like the Queen of Swords. We either have the King of Swords or the Queen of Swords or the Ace of Swords or swords. So external forces beyond your control. Once again, here is that person. I'm reading the Queen of Swords in its shadow or more reversed aspect in this sense, as an obstacle rather than an opportunity. An obstacle outside your control is going to be someone around you who doesn't really necessarily think you need to keep fighting this battle. Maybe you're being told some harsh words, being given some unsolicited advice, some harsh opinions, some I can't believe you're doing that sort of talk. So that's your big obstacle when it comes to what do I do? Do I move forward? Do I move on? What do I do? Your biggest obstacle really looks to be people around you who are trying to tell you what to do. So now is probably a time for you to look inward a little bit and listen to your own inner voice and your own inner guidance. Maybe do some meditating, or if praying, I guess, is more comfortable language for you than that. But this is about listening to yourself and trusting your own inner guidance here. Okay, so let's move forward with that. Yes. Now, internally, things you can control, things you can control, internally within you, the moon, which this moon card, is that not gorgeous? Look at that. Look at that. A mermaid underneath there, the big full moon. So this is bringing forward the energy of, is it as you are viewing it, or are you making it into something different? Are you really seeing the reality of the situation? So the moon calls up on you to really look at the actual reality of this situation, this battle that you're fighting. People may be telling you one thing and kind of skewing the way you look at it. So now is really, really a time for you to self-reflect, to look within, to really critically examine whatever this situation is that you're kind of tossing around in your head here. Really critically examine it and ask yourself, is this the reality of this situation, or am I making things up in my head? Does it seem worse than it actually is because I'm telling myself that? What aspect of me and my shadow self am I projecting onto this situation and kind of skewing the reality of it? So that's what you're looking at, and that's what you're looking for today. But the Light Seer's Tarot today says, keep pushing forward. It's a worthy battle worth fighting. Try to tune out what other people around you are saying. Really look within for your own inner guidance to the actual reality of the situation, not something that you've projected on it from your shadow. I hope that helps you, and I hope you have a great day.